lesson, you will learn to factor using the GCF method, which is the greatest common factor method. So an equation that you could be given would be 33x squared minus 18x, although there are many other equations you could be given. So to factor this specific equation, you would first need to find the GCF, which is the greatest common factor, and a greatest common factor is a number that can go into both 18 and 33 for this equation specifically. So from here to here, you're finding the GCF, and a number that goes both into 33 and 18 would be 3. And because there's an x on each side of the equation, there's only one x here, so you would only do one x rather than x squared. So it'd be 3x would be your GCF. So you have your GCF, which is 3x, and to get 11x minus 6, you have to figure out what it's multiplied by to get 33. So 3 times 11 equals 33, or you could do 33 divided by 3 equals 11, which is where you would get your 11, and that goes here. And same for 18, so negative 18 divided by 3 equals negative 6, which goes here. And so then you would have your equation 3x multiplied by 11x minus 6 is the correct answer. And you have the x's because x times x equals x squared. And there's no x here because there's only one x. Multiply, you would basically just distribute your equation across. So you would do 3x times 11x, which is 33x squared, and 3x times a negative 6, and that would be 3 times 6 is negative 18 with the negative sign, and you would add the x because there's an x. So minus 18x, and to check if this is right, you would take this and look up here and make sure it's the exact same, and if it is, you did your problem correctly.
In this lesson, you will learn how to factor with decomposition. So the equation for this is 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. So with decomposition, you can use something called the x method. So the top would be 24, which is a, and c, which is multiplied together to get negative 24. And the bottom would be the b, which is this one. So that would be 5. And to get these numbers, so what goes into 24 multiplication and what goes into 5 with addition. So for multiply, this would be 8 and negative 3, as you can see here. So you would do something called factor by grouping. So you would do 6x squared and negative 3x. So that would be 3x, 2x minus 1, and then 8x and negative 4, which factors into 4 parentheses 2x minus 1. So as you can see, these two groups, they are the same number, which if it's not the same number, you should go and check your answer because it might be incorrect. So the answer for this would be 2x minus 1, parentheses 3x plus 4. If you would like to check your problem for decomposition, all you need to do is distribute or expand. So you do 2x and 3x, and that would be 6x squared. Then you do 2x and 4, which is plus 8x. And then you do negative 1 and 3, which is negative 3x. And again, negative 1 and 4, which is negative 4. So you just had to add these terms together. So it'd be 6x squared plus 8 minus 3, 5 x minus 4. Correct answer.
In this part of the lesson, you will learn sum of cubes. The sum of cubes is a form of factoring using cubed numbers and cubed variables. So this is an example of a problem you may be given. You would have 64x cubed plus 27y cubed. And so to solve this, you need to find the cube root of 64 and 27. So the cube root of 64 is 4, and the cube root of 27 is 3. And to get to here, from here, you need to use the equation in parentheses a plus b, parenthesis, and another parenthesis, a squared. And then, so you would follow the rule, same, opposite, always positive. So same symbol here, so that would be positive. And then opposite would be negative, and then you would do a times b, and then always positive, that would be positive, b squared. So you would just plug this in as a, and this is b. So you plug that in, and you would plug it in as the cubed root. So you have 4x plus 3y in parentheses, and then in parentheses you have 4x squared minus 4x times 3y plus 3y squared. And to get from here to here, you would just simplify. So you can't simplify this because the variables are the same. So you had 4x plus 3y in parentheses, and then because it's squared, for example, if you had 4 times 4 and x times x, this would equal x squared, and this would equal 16. So you are squaring both values, but because x is not a number, it would stay as x squared, so it would be 16x squared, and that also applies to the 9y squared minus 12xy plus 9y squared. And this would be your final answer right here. And if you wanted to check your answer, you could distribute, just like we showed you before in the earlier lessons. You would just distribute like you would normally if you were solving an equation like that.
In this lesson, you'll be learning another form of factoring, which is sum of squares. So for sum of squares, you will get an equation such as this, 9x squared minus 16. And as you can see, both of the numbers are square roots. So for this, 9 is the square root of 3, and 16 is the square root of 4. So to find the answer to this equation, you have to use a formula, which is a minus b, or it could be plus, and then a minus b. So as you can see, you just plug in a, 9 is a, and b, which is 16. So it'd be 3x plus 4, parenthesis, 3x minus 4, parenthesis. If you want to see if this answer is correct, because this would be your final answer, you can just distribute. So 3x and 3x is 9x squared. 3x and negative 4 is negative 12x. 4 and 3x is plus 12x. And 4 and negative 4 is negative 16. In these terms, you would simplify them, and they would cancel each other out. So your answer would be 9x squared minus 16, which is your original problem.